thank you so much for having me here. It's an absolute pleasure. It's lovely to be in Qatar, and as a local business owner with starting Skydrops Sustainable Water Technologies, one of the things we wanted to do is to create a secondary water source for Qatar in the most sustainable manner. And predominantly what we wanted to focus on was to ensure that we met Qatar's national sustainability strategy for 2030, and to meet not just the Emir's plan, but also Sheikh Hamza's plan also for sustainability.
Qatar's new 800-megawatt solar power plant has the capacity to meet 10% of Qatar's peak power consumption.
These solar panels are part of a 35,000 square meter facility.
From Doha, we can grow a green desert in a better environment.
Organizers say this is one of the most sustainable stadiums in world sport. Around 28% of it is made from recycled materials.
We dare to believe. We rise to challenges. We change what's possible. Because in Qatar, the sky's the limit. From Qatar, now comes the Arab world's eco-chic answer to the challenge of water scarcity. Because we looked for a secondary water source, and we found one in Qatar's very own sky. Of food security, because we needed to grow crops in the desert and irrigate greenhouses. Of single-use plastic and glass waste. Because recycling was not enough, we pick up, sanitize, and refill glass bottles to reuse. And we secured 100% biodegradable, plant-based bottles that turn into compost locally for growing food. And humanitarian aid, because we needed to produce, transport, and distribute water to those in need. Born in Qatar to serve the earth. Because we believe that every country can achieve water independence while protecting people's health and preserving the environment. Skydrops Sustainable Water Technologies. Pure, simple, impactful.
For Qatar, the geography here is much different. So other countries have different water sources. Some countries get water sources from the mountains, the rivers, rain. Qatar is limited to water source. In fact, in 2019 and 2023, the United Nations has recognized Qatar to be the #1 country most likely to go into a water scarcity. So this is where Skydrops comes in. What we wanted to do was to create a secondary water source. So with the US technology that we receive out of Washington State and Texas, the technology is, I'll make it as simple as possible so everyone can understand it. So if you think of an AC system inside of your home, an AC actually pushes air out. The atmospheric water generation technology, it actually sucks the air in. At that point, it condenses the water. It goes through multiple filtration systems. First, it filters the air, which is very important here in Qatar, as the air quality is definitely not clean. And then the secondary, it actually cleans the water. So what you end up with is ultra pure water. And we say ultra pure is because nothing touches it in the air. So it doesn't run through the ground, it doesn't run through the ocean, it doesn't have high salt content, there's no salt in the air. So it's ultra pure water. And so we take that water, and at that point we bottle it in only sustainable bottling. We really believe that we wanted to align with Qatar's national plan. We wanted to get away from using plastics. We wanted to reduce the amount of microplastics that people are taking into their bodies. So we only use reusable glass and aluminum bottles. And what that means also for the sustainability strategy is that we send the bottle to you. Once you're done, we pick it up, we bring it back, we sanitize, fill, cap, and redistribute. So that also cuts down on the overall waste that's being established here in Qatar. One of the great things about Qatar, especially here from a public health perspective, is Qatar has probably the strongest and toughest public health requirements in probably the entire region. So one of the things that we did, because we are bringing new technology here, is that we set up a system that is as clean as possible, that can be, and we create super clean water in the most sustainable manner. So what this does is that when people drink our water, they know that the most important thing is that it's clean water, but more importantly, something you can't find here is that it's fresh water. So because our water, we don't store water. When you're drinking our water, like the one you have here today, it was just made this morning. So it's ultra fresh. So this is something that's only provided for Qatar, and it's a new technology and a new business practice that I think that anyone from any country would definitely appreciate. And from the feedback that we've received from some of our clients is that they love the taste of the water, and that the freshness of it definitely reminds them of so many different places where they come from home. So a good friend of mine from Lebanon said that when he drank our water, it actually took him back to his childhood from drinking water from the mountains in Lebanon. I think for any company, especially a company that is in manufacturing and technology, you always have to be ready for the next step. So this is part of our milestones also that aligns with the 2030 National Sustainability Strategy is that we want to continue to make Skydrops as forward-thinking as possible. So I'll give you a little bit of a seed, if you will, of what we plan for this company is that first of all, we would love to take it off the grid. So we want it to completely be able to function off of not solar power. I would love to be able to bring some new technology here in the future that uses ground thermal energy, which actually produces 10 times more energy than solar power and is much more reliable because you don't have to worry so much about the environment. So this is something we'd like to see that in the future water plant is that becomes completely sustainable. And I'd love for Qatar to be able to showcase that we're the first Arab country to feature such a sustainable project and sustainable in all factors, not just water production, but also delivering water. I think one of the important things to state is that part of the reason I chose to come to Qatar, when I was putting this business plan together, a lot of people ask, why didn't you go to Dubai? You know, why didn't you open up this opportunity in Dubai? That it's a bigger market, or Saudi. And I felt that it wasn't the right place. I really truly felt that here in Qatar, the systems are in place for female-owned companies like myself to get established and also grow. I think with Sheikha Moza, I think some of the values that she set for the country, whether it's the amazing education for women, but also the business opportunities for women, from my perspective, I think it's better than what we have in the United States. I feel here in Qatar that I'm more supported by the local businesses, or specifically through the Qatar Free Zone, a lot more than I have a lot more support here than I have in the United States. In the United States, it's such a large country, or if you try to do this even in Dubai or Saudi, for a startup company like ours, this is a new idea. This is a new way of doing things. So you really need hands-on support to be able to grow. And this is how new technology comes to the country. So with the Qatar Free Zone, they've been so supportive in the entire process to make sure that we have that connection. And also because this is, we do not have a local sponsor. This is 100% foreign-owned company. It's really important for us to have that support. So this is part of the reason I chose Qatar, is because I felt that that Qatar's national sustainability strategy and where they want to be in the future, and the fact that they have a lot of priority in education and technology, I felt that this is the right place to set up right here, and that the leadership of the country and the people of the country are ready to receive that technology and ready for a change. So this was part of the reason, and again, the support that I've received here has been absolutely tremendous. I think anyone that is looking to open up a company internationally, you need to be courageous. There's no question. It's a lot of hard work. You really need to have you really have to have the inner strength for it. I definitely feel, with my background, I was in the military for 22 years. I think that that is there. It's naturally there, but still, again, it's a huge risk to go international. So I think when I looked into Qatar and I saw that the business platform that already existed, what that did is, as a business person, is you look at risk. Where are my risks? So going international is very high risk. Bringing it to Qatar brings the risk down because of what Qatar has available. So I would say for women or for men that are looking to open up businesses, I think that Qatar is a great established location. It has the right infrastructure, from the ports, the Qatar Free Zone that allows you to own 100% of a foreign-owned business. It has all of the trade lines established, and for imports and exports, it makes it much simpler to be able to do business. But more importantly, I think that as we talked about from Sheikh Hamza's perspective, I think that if the leadership, especially at Sheikh Hamza's level, or if you look at QFC with Sheikh Al Anoud, for example, if it wasn't for women like that are really setting the stage for female entrepreneurs as myself, especially when it comes to industries that are more difficult for women to break into, like technology and manufacturing. This is not typically industries that women break into. So here in our water company, we're hitting sustainability, we're hitting manufacturing, we're also in technology. It's a little bit across. They've opened up the route to say, Sheikh Hamza, Sheikh Al Anoud, and other women in the leadership, they've opened the road to say, yes, you could do this here. And we've opened the road, but you have to have the heart to do it. And I think as long as you have that and you're ready to work hard, you've got everything you need here to be able to launch. So I highly recommend to anyone that's looking, whether you're coming from the United States, from Europe, or really anywhere from the country, that this is a prime spot to establish a headquarters. And one of the things we want to do is definitely spread. We want to go into the other areas of the region, but we always want Qatar to be our home. I mean, I would say 3 to 4. I think from a business perspective, definitely the Qatar Free Zone. Sheikh Mohammed Al Thani has been a very huge supporter in the sustainability project for the QFZ. He sees how it really fits into the national strategy from a business perspective. I would say also from the business perspective, my team is amazing. I couldn't have done this without them. I come up with all the crazy ideas and they execute, which is really great. From a personal perspective, I would definitely say my mother, and I would say my family. They've been so supportive the entire time. My children, I just moved them from the United States to come here and to start school all over again, but they're loving it here. It's safer, it's nicer. We love being in Qatar, so we feel that it's a privilege to be here in Qatar and to be able to raise my children here. Especially, we're Muslim, so it's nice to be able to raise children in a Muslim country with values that appeal to us. So this is huge. But I would say the number one thank is of course Allah. That without God nothing is possible. So I think if someone would have told me, I retired from the military almost 4 years ago. I think if someone said back then, 6 years ago, you're going to retire from the military, then you're going to Qatar and you're going to open up a water company, I would have said you're crazy. I would have never thought in a million years, but I feel that Allah set this track for me. I would say the message to the leadership in Qatar, from the very top to Sheikh Tamim, Sheikh Hamza, and everyone, is that thank you for creating such an amazing environment for not just for business, but also to raise a family and and the fact that they've stayed grounded in their values. I really thought during FIFA that things were going to change in Qatar, and I really appreciate the fact that Qatar has stayed grounded in their values and their value systems. And thank you for making this such a great country to live in, and for my family, for me to raise my family in.
أكيد.
Thank you.
وإحنا بنتشكرك اليوم أستاذة رنا على هذا اللقاء الجميل، وأيضا بنتشكرك على حسن الاستقبال وحسن الضيافة ولدعمك برنامج كفاءات قطرية كلنا تميم. وإن شاء الله إن لقاءات أخرى بالأشهر المقبلة نكون بمكان جديد وبمحطة جديدة. شكرا لك.
يسلموا. أهلا وسهلا.